My name is Ageela Semple, or you can call me Rob, preferably. I'm from Queens, New York. Seriously unquantifiable, like, it's crazy. I give like paints exes, homies. I try to get paints to my mom, she's like, nah. But I would say, as far as oil painting, probably like 10, 20.
Okay.
And then with photographs, though, um, probably hundreds, thousands.
Okay.
I inspire me. My personal struggles inspire me. A lot of my art comes from internal turmoil of trying to figure out what kind of person I am. So it's typically a representation of myself.
Okay.
Transgendered person is a person who does not identify with the gender that they were assigned at birth. So you would be a male when you were born.
Right.
You would identify as a boy when you're a child. You would identify as a man as an adult.
Right.
That would make you a side gender person.
Right.
Me, I'm a transgender person, not a trans male, transgender female. I don't want to transition to either.
Exactly. Because often confused with transsexual.
Exactly,
Right.
and it's absolutely. It's. I mean, they're connected, but they're not the same thing. They're not interchangeable.
Exactly.
Transsexuals might be changed to actual sex. But I just don't identify as a man or a female. I mean, a man or a woman. I am a female.
Right.
But I just rather be called they or them as opposed to she, her, or he.
So, what problems do you face as a transgender person, and do you put this into your art?
Um, the problems I really face is knowing where I go in society.
Okay, trying to find a place.
Yeah,
To fit.
trying to fit. Not necessarily to fit. I know I'm not going to fit anywhere. I've never been the kind to fit in, but it's just trying to find where I belong. Fitting in is more like blending in, but it's more of I want to find the crowd that I feel the most comfortable with.
I got you.
I don't necessarily feel comfortable within my family. I do feel comfortable within my friends, but outside of my friends, I don't. I just exist. So my art does reflect that. It shows struggle. It shows wanting more time to figure things out. It shows desperation.
So it's more on the negative side than the positive side. Do you have any like art pieces that particularly
I mean, I wouldn't say all of that is negative, though. I mean, be
just
negative.
expressing what you go through?
Yeah, I mean,
I
it's
see.
not necessarily negative. I feel like negative. I mean, negative may be somebody's perception of it, but it's not like I'm woe is me. Look at all the sad things I've been
Exactly.
through. It's just these. Those are powerful emotions. Those are the most powerful emotions to feel. Feelings of anger, feelings of sadness, and happiness is strong. But
Right.
how can you emulate happiness? Happiness is something that you more feel. But when you think of sadness, you can emulate sadness. You can
That is true.
depict sadness. So.
Right.
Sexualizing the female body, stop sexualizing the female nipple.
The nipple.
The nipple, particularly because female nipples are extremely sexualized. It's the most sexualized body part of the female body, even though it as a whole is sexualized. You cannot post a picture of yourself topless on your own Instagram because your nipple are female nipples, and that specifically is against the guidelines. If you were to Photoshop a male nipple on your face,
Right.
it would literally bypass it. It's actually crazy. So I concentrate on turning parts of the body that are extremely sexualized and desexualize them into a very human context.
So that is one of your missions in a way. Like you want to somehow get everyone to desexualize certain female body parts.
I mean, not get everyone. Wow, you are jumping to conclusions out here.
Yes.
No, not trying to get anyone to do anything because my art is not a statement. It's more of what I feel But I know that I'm not an activist, and I know that my art isn't necessarily a form of activism. I know it's probably not going to change anything, but
Right.
I hope through my explanation that it just it gets people to think other ways. It gets people thinking about it.
To
It's
recognize
just
certain
important.
things going on.
Exactly, because a lot of people do not realize these things until it says to them.
True.
I only paint in my room.
Okay.
Um, I only paint when it's clean. I only paint when I have access to music. If not, I'm very lonely. Um, and with photography, I work best alone. I work best alone, period, but especially with photography. I cannot do photography with other people around because I start to get fear. Like, I fear how they're going to judge my work. Like, oh, I don't like this, or I like this.
You say you listen to music as you create. What type of music?
I listen to a lot of old R&B, like the kind of stuff that my mom listens to.
Okay.
And then I listen to some underground hip hop, things that, depending on what kind of emotions that I'm feeling, that get me further into my emotions. So if I'm sad, I'll just feel, I don't say depressing music, but music that just makes you fulfill the entire spectrum of that. But if I'm feeling particularly thug life, this underground hip hop. I'm not right now. I'm actively trying to change that because it is hard out here to be by yourself trying to figure everything out. And there are groups. I went to one event, and I met a lot of people who are very supportive of other transgender people because we are so fewly numbered that we have to stick together because the amount of violence brought against people in the trans community is ridiculous. So definitely trying to do that so I don't die to myself.
Absolutely.
I don't really have a goal because I do it for myself. So my goals, I guess, are just to feel better or to get what's in my head out.
I see.
But
so it's more for you than anyone else.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you
Asking.
Oh, okay.
That was a question.
Oh, okay.
That was a question.
But it's definitely for me. I don't really do my art for anybody else's liking. I mean, I hope people like it, but people always find a flaw in anything. They'll find a flaw in a perfect sky. But as far as my mission visit is just to get people talking about the issues that people are facing now, and get people thinking about ways to change things, and get people involved.
So I see you have some tattoos. Are any of those pieces of yours that you created?
Yes.
Which ones?
I'm not going to show you because that would be weird. I have a piece on my chest that I drew when I was like 18. I have a piece on my hip that I drew. I'll send you a picture of it, but I have a piece right here that I drew. I have some things that I wrote out. Got a lot of tattoos, so.
Okay.
Oil on canvas.
Okay.
I occasionally use acrylic. I occasionally use spray paint. My photography, I use a Nikon D5000.
Okay.
A 35mm lens, and it's typically monochrome pieces, occasionally overexposed pieces.
All right.
Painted a pregnant black woman. I don't have a painting anymore. I give it to my boyfriend. But I painted a pregnant black woman looking at her child, like at her stomach, as if she was going to lose her child. And to me, that represented women who go through pregnancies by themselves because their significant others or whoever was the father of the child did not want the child. So they're left by themselves and they're looking at their child like, damn. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm going to do everything that I can. It's a reality that many people face. So, and also even in that, I knew that it was a naked woman, and I knew that people would look at that like, they draw naked people.
Right.
But it's because the female body is so feared, and I didn't want it to be feared.
Okay.
I necessarily think I deserve exposure. I haven't put in the work to receive exposure. I feel as if there are many artists who work significantly harder than me, and those are the ones who end up somewhere. But I feel like even if I did work that hard, I probably wouldn't get to where a lot of those people get because I am a black person. I am queer.
Right.
I am transgender, and these are things that are like taboos in American Christian society. So the exposure that I do get is exposure that I aim for. Like I submit photographs to websites, different contests, and I actually had art in a podcast, a feminist podcast. They gave a raffle, and I got some money for that. That was cool. I did a feminist mural from a college, honor college, of 4 different notable feminists. I got the exposure that I wanted.
Sounds good. So who's the Wu-Tang? I see it's on your shirt here. Is that a part of?
Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang.
Is that something you created, or is what does that mean?
You better.
Yes.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with.
But is that something that you live by this
No,
phrase?
I don't live by that. Can you please stop?
Okay.